now we're going to actually see what her father saw in her last moments.
You might want to sit back on the couch so I can actually see the screens and make deductions.
Well, I can't really with the cord of my headphones.
Okay, well, I'll do my best.
Thanks.
What? I did notice something, though. My hunch was correct.
Your hunch was correct.
Did you notice something missing?
His face.
What in the...
A faceless being?
What the heck? Who changed me in the middle of a court?
Why am I feel like I'm in school again?
His
Good
face
prank, idiot.
is just like that picture of the founder.
I think that's the last thing anyone expected to see.
Oh, Father, what was it? What was it you saw?
Are we to understand that this was the last thing the victim saw?
Yes, there can be no mistake. That was what my father himself witnessed.
How very strange. You don't suppose a holy mother possessed the accused and slew Mr. Inga after planning a coup? The divine wrath of the holy mother? Talk about a sharp left turn into the Twilight Zone. Phoenix, you're not allowed to reference things in real life, man.
You know, there's one thing there that caught my attention. You know, besides the faceless dad laughter. That laugh. Who does it belong to and why are they laughing?
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Who knows? Though I suppose it could be Dirk after he slew my husband.
Uh-huh. But that didn't figure... That figure didn't even have a mouth.
I think we're done here, lawyer.
How so?
You claimed that Minister Inga was stabbed in his private quarters, and, feeling no pain, went to the tomb where he eventually fell dead.
That pain could have literally been his pain meds wearing off.
Maybe.
But this seance vision proves he was stabbed in the tomb and felt great pain, no less.
Oh, that.
Therefore, as I asserted all along, it was the accused who stabbed the minister in the tomb.
Everything just backfired big time.
Wow. Garin has the devil's own luck, doesn't she?
Now then, I shall give voice to the soul of the deceased. Listen well and heed these words. At around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. He was drinking grape juice while gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother.
Yeah, grape juice.
He had been waiting vigilantly when suddenly he heard Dirk's voice. The next moment he was stabbed in the back and collapsed. My father tried to shoot his attacker, but he missed, and the attacker let out a laugh.
So what now, Mr. Wright?
It's up to us to knock holes in Wright's interpretations of Inga's memories. In other words, we need to prove that her understanding of them could be mistaken.
Okay, give it a try.
Okay. There is one key thing here that we need to point out. Let's see if you can figure it out. There is one thing that I will make note. She was very specific about one thing. One thing that we could pull into question.
I don't see Dirk's voice listed.
There's also one thing I will bring up to you. You are on the right statement.
Gun never fired either.
That's probably what they're thinking the explosion was. Although I will say you were on the right statement. The third statement is the right one. And now we need to just... He had been waiting vigilantly when suddenly he heard Dirk's voice. Let's see when the voice pops up. Is that Dirk's voice?
It just says man's voice.
Yeah. It doesn't, because if it was Dirk's voice, wouldn't it have specifically... because it's Inga, wouldn't he have recognized Dirk's voice upon hearing it?
Yeah.
Objection!
Your benevolence, there seems to be an inconsistency in your interpretation.
An inconsistency? Where?
Minister Inga is far too relaxed for what was supposedly about to take place. When he heard the voice you claim is Dirk's, he didn't seem the least bit alarmed. He just kept looking at the picture of the founder.
Ah.
That's strange, right? He was waiting for Dirk to arrive with the founder's orb. But when he heard that voice, he didn't even turn around. Don't you think that would have worried someone about being attacked from behind? Don't you think he would have been worried about someone being...
About being attacked from behind.
I'm sorry, I'm... For the record, folks, like, literally the text is always partially obscured for me.
But you're adding words into areas you can see.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Don't you think he would have been worried about being attacked from behind?
Ah.
Where do those wind gusts keep coming from?
I am not...
Friggin' what's that famous lady actress?
Marilyn Monroe.
Who's the
They're coming.
Go ahead.
They're coming from the windows that don't have windows.
Who's the airbender in here doing all that? Monkey Atso's just in the back. Oh, sorry. I thought it would be a funny thing.
Yeah, that sounds about like...
That sounds like Monkey Atso.
Yeah.
Then whose voice was it?
It was likely someone whose presence wouldn't have alarmed him. Someone like... a friend?
Objection! But there was no third party at the scene of the crime. Therefore, the voice can only have belonged to Dirk.
The voice of a third party who wasn't there in the tomb.
Apollo, don't we have something that could reveal the owner of the mystery voice?
You know, I think we do. Yeah, let me double check that. Probably not Dad. That'd be funny.
Ghost Dad! Ghost
Yeah.
Dad! Oh, I know. I know what it is.
Wait, wasn't there... doctor?
There's also something, let's look at the crime scene photo. Look at the photo of the body.
Phone call. Oh.
There is a cell phone there. So maybe he was hearing the voice over a phone.
Right. Something that Inga had while he was waiting for Dirk. With it, we just might be able to figure out whose voice it was. I believe we can identify the male voice Minister Inga heard with this.
Take that!
That's my father's.
I know this must be hard for you, but could you please look at this photo? There's something here that can point us towards the identity of the voice.
Look at this photograph.
This is the real source of the man's voice.
The knife! Pull me down! Take that!
A cell phone?
Right. I believe that the voice the minister heard was a call on his cell phone.
I see. Well, that certainly makes sense. What is your eminence's view on this matter?
Well, I ain't having it.
I did say only ketchup too.
Yeah.
Open up. I concede the possibility.
While booping the Fae.
Oh, booping the boop.
Then it seems I must refine my vision.
You don't understand my creative vision.
Man's voice.
X.
Subordinate's voice.
It appears that the voice belonged to one of my father's subordinates.
Why do you suppose he was talking to one of them then?
My father had members of the secret police positioned throughout the palace. They were supposed to contact him as soon as they saw Dirk and the rest of you.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Your benevolence, I believe you have an insight to revise.
I know, Barbed Head. Don't presume to tell me how to do my duty.
Hey, it's not like I've done this like 3 times now.
Insight revised.
Duty.
Revise.
Psych, what's that?
So the voice was coming from the phone. That's good to know. There might have been other sounds coming from the phone. Sounds that could be clues. Let's take another look at Rafa's insights and really focus on the various sensations.
Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this now.
Okay, so same verse, second verse, same as the first. The third statement is the one you want to be looking at.
Well, yeah, it's the only thing that changed.
Yeah. Although, that's the thing. Statements may revise, but now that it's more clear, other senses are going to be shown. But watch. So watch carefully.
I am. Lions roar. Dogs bark. Okay.
So there's one thing specifically that you can point out in that one.
Dogs
section.
bark.
Dogs bark? I'd be a little more concerned about the lion's roar.
Yeah, well, no, because it's the bird.
But it's the what?
The warbat.
But where's that phone call coming from then?
In the,
It's coming from the bazaar.
yeah.
But that's a little interesting to point out, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because the dog's bark would indicate that, like, because there was a dog barking, it would have implied that it was Shadow, right?
Yeah.
Shadow was last seen in the royal courtyard.
Yeah.
But that bark happened at the same time as the lion's roar? Maybe the bark's happening outside, and the lion's roar is coming from the phone. Make sure it's the third statement.
My father took a call from a subordinate at the palace.
Yes, that is the third statement.
Yeah.
Objection!
Nargigante.
Nargigante.
Gargle bargle.
I hate to break it to you, Your Benevolence, but you misinterpreted something again.
What do you mean, again?
What do you mean, again? Smooth move, Apollo. I think you just hurt her feelings. She may put on a brave face, but she feels more than she lets on.
Let me rephrase that, Your Benevolence. Your interpretation of your father's phone call to his subordinate at the palace. is inconsistent with his final memory.
What do you mean by that?
Meh.
Plurple.
Mm-hmm.
Plurple keys. Plurple keys.
Oh, yeah.
A lion's roar could be overheard on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you find that strange? You claim the call was with someone at the palace.
But that would imply the call was coming from someone else.
But let me ask you, do you keep lions there?
No, the only animals at the palace are little birdies and my pet frog.
Wait, that giant one in front of the minister's house is her pet?
Besides, there aren't any lions in Karine. We don't even have any zoos. A rather sad state of affairs, I'm afraid.
She really just wants to go to the zoo. That's cute.
I want to see animals.
Well, I remember hearing a sound like that. The lion's roar coming from the phone is actually from something hanging out in
The
The
jungle.
bazaar.
What was the third option?
Temple. Isn't that the cry of the warbad over in the bazaar?
Ah,
Your benevolence, do you think you can clarify the voice for me?
very well. I will now attempt to further refine my vision.
Warbad's cry.
Seeing two apostrophes beside each other like that is interesting.
What's this?
What's this? What's this?
There's magic in the air. What's this? What's this? This what's up in
The-
your hair. Just
The
as I
fuck?
suspected.
The fuck?
It was the call of a warbat. What, Faye?
The fuck? The fuck?
What's this? What's this? I'm sick of all your shit.
That means the subordinate Minister Ingo was talking to
The bird.
was in the bazaar, not the
He
palace.
was talking to the bird.
But why is it important where the call came from? What significance could it have?
Every little detail counts, princess.
Also, this is Phoenix, right? You underestimate Phoenix's insanity when it comes to when he's back into
Picking
a
the
corner.
frick clean of everything. She's right. Is it important to know where the call was made from? Yes.
It is very important.
It's actually very important. Knowing that the person on the other end of the bazaar was at the bazaar means that the loud explosion might not have been the sound of a gunshot. I know what it is. It's the freaking firecrackers.
Yeah, the snot rockets that
Yeah.
Dats was using.
But I can think of no other item that makes such a noise in the area.
Go ahead, Apollo. Tell her. Tell Rapo the real source of that sound.
Will do.
Well, Hornhead, I'm waiting. What was the true source of that explosive sound?
There's something that you have that tells you what it is.
Okay.
Correct.
Drugs. It's a statement that somebody made.
Okay. No, autopsy. Albi's statement? Yeah, I think it's Albi's.
Shadow was surprised
By
by
a
a firecracker.
firecracker.
What is that?
It's Albie your guide's statement. In it, he claims that Dots Arbol threw a firecracker at him while he was at the bazaar.
Then,
Yes, the sound heard over the phone was a firecracker exploding.
ah!
Oh!
Leviosa.
Saw.
And yet, a bullet was found at the scene of the crime. A bullet fired from Minister Inga's gun. How do you explain that?
Somebody took it and fired it. It doesn't have to be from him.
Maybe he fired it earlier than the designated time.
True. Well, we don't know whether it was fired during the course of the crime, right? Or do you have evidence that proves when the pistol was discharged?
No, I have none.
Wait a second. If that loud bang was a firecracker, then could that laugh at the end have been... No, it can't be.
Oh, it can. And it is. The laugh came from none other than Datsarbel. The Joker who got a kick out of startling Albie with his dragon snot snaps. I keep wanting to say shot.
Yeah, I know, same. I fell into that trap too.
That happy-go-lucky That's Arble.
Boo.
That's Arble.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. What? Somebody should really put a leash on that guy. No, I agree.
I still say he's a Larry Butts of this area.
He is the Larry Butts of this area, but surprisingly, he's way more endearing than Larry Butts is. But he does the jokes, but you can't really get mad at him. Just like, oh, I can't stand mad at you. I shudder to think how one man can be the cause of so much trouble. Do you know a man named Larry Butts, Your Honor?
Gestures at Larry Butts.
He has a saying back home.
I would hate to see both of those guys meet up.
Oh. I think even Dats would get annoyed by Larry.
Hey, yeah.
You're really comparing me to him?
More militaristic version of him.
I can see it. Oh, that's right. He's in the audience. Hey there, AJPW. Y'all can thank me later.
I mean, at least it places.
No one asked for your commentary, Mr. Arble. Your benevolence, do you need to revise your insight?
It would appear so.
Motherfucker, I know where you live. No.
My father took a call from a subordinate at the bazaar. Oof. The true source of that loud bang was the firecracker Dad's threw. I was about to say drew.
Ding. See, I drew it.
And that final laugh belonged to none other than Dats himself. Sadly for Dats, it's Dats an asshole.
You're what an asshole.
What an asshole.
Well, this changes everything. Let's go over the details of Rafa's insights again.
Okay. I think I've got this down now. Time to find another inconsistency.
All right. So this one might be a little bit trickier because it actually involves the first statement.
Correct.
So it's this statement you need to look out for.
Okay.
But this, but here's the thing. Something that was just described.
I know exactly what I'm looking for. It's the doggy voice.
No, it's not.
No.
We just explained what something was caused by.
Yeah.
Like, what was the one thing?
Drugs.
You'll see. Just keep watching. I'll tell you to stop when it happens.
And footsteps. Faceless.
No face. Pause.
Explosion!
So, here's the thing. Look at Albie's statement again. Court record.
Oh.
Look at Albie's statement again.
It sounds like shot fired, right?
Yeah, but look at what it says.
I know. I am aware of that. That's what I was getting at.
What are you getting at?
This places the call at 2 o'clock.
Yes, this is technically an hour later. We're presuming it's an hour later than when it happened.
Yeah.
So this moment happened an hour earlier than everyone was claiming it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I already picked up on that.
You got it. Yep. Perfect.
I just didn't know where to stop it, so I guess what?
So now you select
Oh,
the
okay,
explosion.
yeah, no, we have to point out the explosion because that's the explosion that sent Shadow to the palace, which was at 2 o'clock. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's where I was getting confused. I'm like, why do I need to do this?
You got it.
Your benevolence! There's a glaring problem with the insight.
There he is.
You stated that the murder happened at around 3 p.m., which is right around the time my client arrived on the scene. However, now that we know that the source of the loud bang, source of the loud bang is, your insight conflicts with a certain piece of evidence.
I suppose I have to ask the obvious here. What evidence conflicts with the claim that the murder occurred at 3 p.m.?
Gee, maybe it's...
The one that we just presented earlier.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa.
Why did I jumped from... Oh, I see.
Are you pressing the R buttons by accident?
No.
Oh, I didn't know that did that.
Up and down
What?
skips pages.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Me neither.
Spicy.
Very.
I only picked up on that because when I hold my stick, I always go like slightly diagonally down.
Maybe that was causing the like what the fuckery the previous times we didn't realize it.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. That'll be a statement.
Brad.
Brad.
I'll be your guide's statement again.
Yes. Because to summarize what he said,
Yes.
at around 2 p.m., Shadow was surprised by a firecracker and ran into the palace courtyard. Oh no, Zeka got iced.
No, I got pounded.
Oh no, she got liquidated.
She got plurpled.
You can't even papa.
Around 2 p.m.
Faye, did you drop?
No.
Oh, okay.
Soundboard thing.
No, yeah, but it's also his entry sound. Anyway. That's right. 2 p.m. Not 3 p.m.
Yatso, stop it.
Are you suggesting?
I think you know where I'm going with this. Dats's laugh, the cry of the warbad, and the bang of the firecracker were all heard right before Minister Inga's death. Thanks to Albi's statement, we can put a definitive timestamp on all... Calling it now, they're going to be like, where's your proof? How can you prove that that happened at that time? And I'm going to have to point out the dog's sound.
We'll see.
Did I finish saying that? Definitive timestamp on all these sounds.
The fact that you
Therefore-
were also in a different location.
What this vision shows is that it's extremely likely that the deceased's final moments were at 2 p.m. rather than 3, as we had originally thought.
Dare I ask?
It means the murder took place a full hour before Dirk entered the tomb! Meaning somebody was dressed like Dirk to literally do what they're doing right now.
Or they're doing the thing where like he thought it was Dirk, but he didn't recognize the person because he couldn't tell. Whose
That's what I'm
face-
saying, like
Yeah.
the dress looks like Dirk's attire.
Yeah.
But he can't.
Or he just assumed it was Dirk.
Yeah, he assumed it was Dirk because he can't see the face.
Exactly. Yeah.
I did skip that.
I know. How could this be? Are you saying that I, the very personification of the law, have been mistaken?
I am the law. What?
She broke her nails.
Oh. Now you see why justice will always prevail. Because my name is Justice, and I.
Because when it's justice, it's just us.
And when I'm hitting on somebody, it's just.
It's just.
Yeah.
Peace, peace, I say. Now then, defense. I must remind you that the figure of the accused was clearly shown in the vision. How do you explain that?
I'm sorry, do you see a face? I wouldn't say it was clearly shown. After all, the figure didn't actually have a face.
Ah, you are absolutely right. Without a face, we can't be certain of who it was.
Furthermore, need I remind you that if the vision is from 2 p.m., Dirk was still with me and Mr. Wright. Which means this faceless figure couldn't possibly be him.
So then, what are we to make of this 1 hour difference?
Wait, 2 o'clock? That's when... my mother was performing the rite of channeling.
The palace guards have all been reassigned to guard the channeling chamber for the rite. Don't tell me.
The royal residence. It would have been virtually unguarded.
Which means the real killer could have easily slipped unseen into Amara's tomb.
Defense, are you saying that this is someone disguised as the accused?
That's exactly what I believe, Your Majesty.
Objection. Preposterous. Disguises cannot deceive the memories of the dead. That the face did not appear this time is mere happenstance. Had it appeared, such centrifuge would have been as clear as day.
Subterraneous fuging. He's got a point there. Anyone who knows about the divination seance would have tried to hide their face. Nevertheless, our killer openly appeared before Inga. The question is, why?
It's someone who knew about his condition.
Subpar fudge.
Good one. Apollo. Maybe the killer could afford to be so bold. Because they knew their face wouldn't show up in the seance vision.
What?
It's possible that the killer dared to dress in Dirk's clothes and stand square in front of Inga.
Precisely because they knew they would get away with it. But how could anyone be so sure of something like that?
A long time ago, I heard of a cognitive disorder that impairs a person's ability to distinguish between different faces. What if Inga had it?
Then are you saying that this is literally how Inga saw the world?
Yes. We can't normally see through the eyes of others, but in this case, we can. And if he had that disorder, I imagine this is how faces appear to him in life.
Okay, well, let's say that this killer knew that Inga had such a disorder. They could definitely use it to pin the crime on Dirk. But
if you're wondering about how to prove that Inga had it, you already have what you need.
Really?
Well, defense, do you have anything to show to this court?
Yes, I believe so. Frankly, I have no idea what Mr. Wright means, but I'll look the evidence over again. Yeah, no, I do know.
You know what it is.
Yeah. That's what caused me to believe that in the first place.
What explains why the face of Minister Inga's killer is absent in the seance vision?
Inga's notepad.
A notepad?
Yes, it was found in Minister Inga's room. I was about to say Mr.
Close enough.
And it holds the answer we're looking for. As you can see, it's filled with detailed notes on various individuals. What kind of clothes they wear, hairstyles, and other discerning physical characteristics.
And this is connected to the faceless nature of the killer how?
The vision we saw was exactly what Minister Inga saw with his own eyes. It is he who saw his killer as a person without a face. In fact, this is how he normally saw everyone around him.
What's this?
I believe Minister Inga had a disorder that prevented him from recognizing faces. It would explain the faceless being. And why he needed a notepad full of people's physical characteristics.
Now that I think about it, my father was always terrible at remembering people. By simply changing my hairstyle, he would fail to recognize even me.
Your Eminence, you knew that your husband had such a disorder, didn't you? Uh-huh.
He never wished for it to become public knowledge. But I suppose there is no use in keeping quiet about it now. It is as you say. My late husband had a special disorder that hindered his ability to recognize faces. The medical term for it is
prosopagnosia.
Prosopagnosia.
So Mr. Wright was right. I mean, he's always right.
The memories of those afflicted with such disorders in life do appear strange at times. There is precedent for this.
So the killer likely knew about the disorder and used it to their advantage.
Right. So there's someone who is both knowledgeable about the divination seance and aware of Inga's affliction. Your Eminence, who knew about your husband's condition? Calling it now, or
Rafa knew. Not Rafa, Nana probably.
yeah, I was about to say, calling it now. It's Nana.
Yeah.
I said
Yeah,
divination.
you said that.
Condition.
Whatever.
A small number of servants who tended to his needs. And me. Surely you are not going to insinuate that I committed this crime.
Wow.
Oh, no, Your Eminence. Still, could she have done it?
Garin has an alibi.
Oh, right. She was conducting the rite of channeling at 2 p.m. In that case, Your Eminence, does Nana know about Minister Inga's disorder?
Of course she does. She is our head servant.
So as head servant, she knew about Minister Inga's condition. And as the princess's personal attendant, she is familiar with the divination saints. If these two facts together don't make her a possible suspect, I don't know what would.
Objection!
You witness lawyer. How quick you are to forget the facts.
Oh, you better believe that's a pen.
Facts like...
When Inga was last seen alive, you claim he was slain at 2, yet that is impossible. For Rafa saw him at 2:30.
There was a channeling? We did completely forget about that. There was a channeling? Hello? Someone could have been channeling him at that time?
Yeah. No, there must be some kind of mistake.
So you see, the murder could only have happened at 3 p.m. The hour Dirk entered the tomb. There is no other answer to this puzzle.
Wait.
I disagree.
Wait. Who was asking her to channel? Who was she channeling?
Well, I don't...
Was that established or not?
No, it hasn't been...
So we don't know who came up to her, asked her for a channeling.
Yeah.
And we don't know what she channeled.
Although we're also assuming that she was the one who channeled him.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to clarify.
There is someone else that could have channeled him.
Yeah. There's Maya. Why don't we ever get to make up answers like Garin makes up laws?
Guess it's back to square one.
Calling it now, the daughter can't see faces either. I'm kind of leaning towards that myself, actually.
Maybe. Although I don't...
Where did we go wrong? I don't know shit, but she describes people in certain ways. Yeah?
But that, I feel like that's a tsundere thing.
Yeah, but she is only talking about their hair.
Yeah, but again, that's probably just a tsundere thing. She is a spoiled princess.
I agree, but this kind of disorder could be genetic.
Maybe? We'll see.
Actually, wait, no. We're going on the off the basis that she's not his daughter, so.
I don't think we're the problem. We just seem to be short one piece of the puzzle. Our deductions so far explain everything to a T. Everything except for Inga's sighting at 2:30.
I see. And without that final piece, all our deductions fall apart.
Apollo, if Inga's sighting is the only anomaly, we'll just have to find a way to make it fit into the bigger puzzle, the bigger picture.
Are we doing speed thinking? Time to think outside the box then, right? Let's see. It would be impossible to see Inga walking it would be impossible to see Inga walking around after he'd been killed. But what if there was a way to make people think he was alive even though he was dead?
Like a way to make people witness the living dead? It's not like you two are familiar with this. Especially you, Phoenix. Come on now.
Sounds like some kind of TV show. Wait, he had Maya hostage. He could just do that.
Yeah.
I thought about that. I didn't think about that. Sounds like some kind of TV show. Things that like that don't happen in real life.
Bruh. Oh. Apollo? Did you just...
I did! I figured it out! I know how to make people witness the living dead!
I can't believe this is like we're discussing this because we already know this answer. It's not like it's popped up in other
Phoenix
things.
does, and he hasn't seen it for a while. Apollo has never seen Maya. Well,
That's true, but Phoenix is Phoenix just playing dumb, or is he just having a brain fart?
I mean, he is his assistant. Maybe he wants to just help him along.
Maybe.
Your Majesty, your deductions weren't wrong after all. Despite Minister Inga being murdered at 2 p.m., he was seen heading to the tomb at 2:30, and I'll tell you how.
I certainly hope you will.
Wait, did he plan his own death?
I don't know.
That would be messed up.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Because what possible reason would he,
Yeah, because, like, it's end of life. Like, why would you plan your own death
Yeah.
unless he was already dying? That doesn't make sense.
Because I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Minister Inga her benevolence saw was, in fact,
Someone disguised him, someone channeling him.
or a ghost.
Or a ghost.
It was the deceased being channeled. It's the only way a man who was already dead could have been seen by her benevolence.
Channeled, you say?
That's right, and there are only 2 people capable of spirit channeling here in Karine. Her Eminence Queen Garin and Maya Fey. It's possible that one of them was channeling the minister.
It would seem that you are ever bent on making me party to this crime. Prosecutor, what was I doing at 2:30 p.m., the time at which my husband was seen?
Eminence. I believe you had completed the channeling rites and were having tea with the king of the neighboring realm. There would have been many attendants there too.
Okay, so now we know who it was.
So then it's most likely Maya.
Now Yuta has to keep up with her schedule too? What doesn't she make him do?
Then that leaves only Maya.
Yeah, it does. Maybe somebody was forcing her to use her power towards Nefertiti Ascends.
I mean, Inga was keeping her hostage, so I wonder.
My mouth is so freaking messed up. I nearly said Nefertiti Ascends.
Nefertarius.
Nefertarius.
Nefertarius. Sounds just...
Nefertiti!
It sounds just nonsense enough it would make sense.
Nefertari Mom. The real killer could have been threatening her.
That cannot be.
So then, Inga's scream, that was probably from when he woke up from being called back to this world. After all, that's when the flow of time would have picked back up for him after he died.
Ooh, yeah. Imagine suddenly waking up like 2 seconds after you were actually murdered. What the? So Minister Inga probably leapt to his feet thinking he just had a nightmare. Then realizing it was almost time for the hostage exchange, he raced off to Amara's tomb, not even realizing he was already dead.
Then, her benevolence really did see a dead man running? Damn it! Old man, get out of here!
Get this old man out of this room! All you see, he's just like freaking air scootering around the walls.
You can't touch me!
Using the sacred power of spirit channeling to commit a crime. How can this be?
Wouldn't be the first time.
Nah.
The defense calls Miss Maya Fey to the stand.
Well, Your Eminence, will you allow a new witness?
It matters not. Either way, this lawyer shall soon know the truth. He will know just how much of an imbecile he is in the face of my infallible arguments.
Prove it.
You want this paddle upside your butt?
You know, I just realized she's the only one with marks on her face that aren't red.
I guess maybe it's royalty? Like the high royalty?
I guess. Insult me all you want, witch, but you'll be eating those words when I expose the truth.
Very well. Let us adjourn until the next witness is ready. Oh! Should have moved my hand when I did that. Oh!
To be continued.
All right, so that was part 1 of the trial.
All right, we'll be back next week.
Time for part 2. There are three parts.
Kill me.
This is part
No,
later.
that's illegal.
Shh, that comes later.
Talk about some really close shaves.
You changed costume too? Yes, I did. I had lots of time.
Athena, who changed you?
I did it myself, thank you very much. I was in the bathroom.
Well, I was in court. Why did I change?
Shh, that comes later.
Well, you can't get a closer shave than Headsman's brand blades, that's for sure.
The trial's not even over yet, and I'm already exhausted.
Still, you were able to fight back the queen herself in there.
Well, maybe with Miss Faye's help, I won't have to keep on playing her game much longer. Excuse me. Speaking of which, I guess it's a little late to be asking, but do you think she's well enough to testify, Mr. Wright?
She slept all day yesterday out of exhaustion, apparently. But that's all it was, so she should be okay.
Butthead, hornhead.
Why are we playing coy with who that is? Only one person in this universe calls him Barbed Head and Hornhead.
Oh, hello, Your Benevolence.
Princess Rafa, you were really impressive. Yeah.
I am the royal
I don't know why
priestess
we're playing this again.
Rafa Padma Kurain,
Nice.
and I am prepared to face my father's death.
I can face my fears.
Ah, despite your mother's opposition, you stood your ground and proclaimed you were a Kingdom Hearts fan. Impressive. And in doing so, you fulfilled your duty as the royal priestess.
It was all thanks to you and your friends. Your belief in me gave me the courage to follow my path.
Not that I appreciate it or anything.
Babaka. So, you have my gratitude.
Oh, don't mention it.
I know. I shall thank you with a gift. What would you like? A cow? A horse?
You know what? I played Legend of Zelda. I'll take the cow. Free milk.
But I want Epona.
I'll take the cow with endless supplies of milk.
Or perhaps I shall reward your efforts with a royal shoulder massage.
Oh, that's okay, Your Benevolence. Your gratitude is more than enough. Thanks.
But I thought you Americans liked massages. My technique was highly praised by my father, I'll have you know.
Hey, you! Lawyers! Where's the accused?
Huh? Dirk? That's a good question. Motherfucker!
I blew it big time, AJ.
That's...
Shut up, you!
What's going on?
This scoundrel tried to escape with the accused.
What?
We were able to nab him, but the accused is nowhere to be found. Where are you hiding him, you miscreant? I keep telling you, I got no idea where he went. I mean, yeah, we booked it together, but I lost track of him after that.
So Dirk's on the lam now?
Who knows? He vanished in the blink of an eye.
Vanished?
Want to know something, AJ? Dirk said to me, I can't put Amara in danger. I have to set him free before it's too late.
What? Don't tell me he's gone to rescue her.
That's what I am telling you. That's why I helped him escape in the first place.
Dad, you realize what you've done? Well, what's done is done.
Oh dear.
No, why do you choose to rescue her now? What?
A friend of mine's getting his wisdom teeth pulled Monday.
Hooray! We're going to record them for posterity and their stupid statements. I read that. Yeah.
Maybe he didn't want to die with any regrets or something. You know, just in case he ended up on the chopping block.
No, I mean, that's half right. Doesn't matter if he's on the chopping block or not, he is still going to pass. Why, Dirk? I thought you believed in me.
Ah, don't be like that, AJ. He'll be back as soon as he frees Amara. You'll see.
That's not the point, Dads.
Listen, lawyer. You let us know immediately if the accused contacts you. The trial will now resume. See that you are ready.
Wait, the trial's still on even without the defendant?
Those were Her Eminence's orders, so you will return to the courtroom at once. Let's go, Apollo. All we can do is see where the next testimony leads. Okie dokie.
Mr. Phoenix, I'm not used to people being louder than me.
Surprise, mother! Have you read the Hunger Games, Apollo? Yes. Rude dies, mother! Now then, let us resume the trial at hand.
Your Majesty, my client seems to have gone missing.
What do you think, Your Eminence? Should we proceed without the accused?
Why not? My royal guard is searching for him as we speak. They shall find him soon enough, but they would not dare to keep me waiting.
I mean, they failed to spot him. Basically, the only time where your guys actually captured him was the times when he let you capture him, to be fair.
Yes, but what about the law governing court proceedings?
I've rewritten the law. Pray I do not rewrite them further.
Then I shall simply revise it.
I like how her finger is probably just like a fountain pen.
Yeah.
As ruling sovereign of Karayan, I proclaim the following. Should the accused be an enemy of the crown, they may be tried in absentia.
Absence.
Well, in that case, I guess there's no problem with proceeding. Just roll with it, Apollo. Will the witness, Miss Maya Fey, please approach the stand?
Are you good?
Sorry to summon you like this, Maya. Getting dragged out of bed into court is not exactly a fun wake-up call, Nick.
I'm sorry, Miss Fey. It was my idea.
And you are?
Yeah, see? He's had no interactions with her, so he...
Which is surprising.
Yeah.
It's surprising that in, like, the 3 years that he's known... That Phoenix and Apollo have been together.
She's been gone that long doing...
But he hasn't mentioned him at all? Okay.
Maybe Phoenix knew it was going to be one of those situations where, like, no outside contact, the outside people to focus on her training.
Then I'm surprised Pearl didn't mention him at all. Pearl knows Apollo.
Yeah.
And yet she's in contact with Maya all the time, I'm sure.
Maybe he knows about her, but she doesn't know about him.
Maybe. Yeah, he definitely knows about her.
Yeah.
Because Phoenix won't shut up about her.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, right. I'm Apollo Justice. It's nice to finally meet you.
Oh, so you're Apollo. Nix told me all about you.
Okay, so they talk about them, but I guess because of no descriptions, they didn't know who.
Yeah.
They've never officially met, but they've heard about each other a lot.
Yeah. You're the new guy with the loud voice and a bit of an unreliable streak, right?
Unreliable?
Well, that was 2 years ago. You've come a long way since. So why was I called here anyway? Am I under arrest again?
I mean, that would be part of the course, but not this time.
I mean, no, for what? Huh?
I guess no one's filled her in.
Well, she has been asleep this entire time.
Miss Faye, this is a trial for Dirk Sadmati, and you're here as a witness.
What? Dirk's been arrested? But...
That's not exactly the reaction I was expecting.
Miss Faye, you are suspected of playing a part in the murder of Justice Minister Inga. What? Someone allegedly forced you to channel the minister to obfuscate?
Obfuscate, yeah.
The time of his murder.
Basically, it means to obscure.
Yeah.
In a professional manner.
At least that is what the defense claims. Wait, what? How could you, Apollo? How did you even reach that conclusion?
Sorry, but it's the only way this whole case makes any sense.
Your understandable anger at the defense's side. Will you testify, Miss Faye?
Obtuse, mate.
Yes, Your Majesty. Obtuse, mate.
Checkmate. Channeling the minister.
I don't have any idea what's going on, but I know I didn't channel Minister Inga. I didn't even have the chance to do something like that. Besides, I'd never go quietly along with some criminal's plan. Though, I guess there are some things I'd go quietly along with.
Do we have a record of what the princess was doing at 2?
No, I don't think so. I think she said that she was with someone at the time.
She didn't say she was training with
She was at her in her quarters at the time.
Was she training?
Probably. I don't know exactly. I don't remember exactly what she said.
Okay, because that's the only third person I could see possibly channeling him. But she's the one who says she saw him, so that doesn't seem right.
Let's see. We'll see though.
Beans.
It seems the witness doesn't believe she has ever channeled Justice Minister Inga.
And if her words prove to be true, Defense, your entire argument becomes moot. You do understand that, don't you?
Yes, of course. Giant banana.
Oh, banana.
It doesn't seem like Miss Faye is lying.
Apollo, Maya has been awfully secretive about something just now. Was being awfully secretive.
Then I guess I'd better dig a bit and try to get her to open up to me first. Then why is your bracelet not reacting?
Well, maybe it's because it's not a lie per se. Maybe she just doesn't know.
The omission.
So
A lie by omission is still a lie, though.
That's different, though. Everything that we've dug up from other people at this point, they've been aware that they're lying.
I know. I don't like how picky and choosy it is with the bracelet.
It's like the Black Psyche Lock situation.
Yeah.
The Black Psyche Locks are of something that even they don't know.
They subconsciously hid from themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn it! I thought it would show up bigger on stream. No, stop it.
Okay, so they basically said it. When you need more information, press on everything.
No, I'm not pressing that.
You have to press everything.
Okay, fine.
Hold it.
You've been asleep ever since you were rescued from the tomb, correct?
Mm-hmm. I was exhausted after being held captive for so long.
That must have been terrible.
Maya, Minister Inga didn't do anything to you, did he? Oh no, it wasn't like that. On the contrary, I asked him for all sorts of things. Like what? Like, I'm really craving burgers and I'll die if I miss an episode of the Plume Punisher.
Stop proving our freaking memes correct!
Burgers! Would you stop it, you? I can imagine someone's just like, oh!
Like, seriously, she's proving our memes correct.
Acting like a brat, netted me a TV and even a few burgers from someplace. He was surprisingly nice to me.
If only Sarah was here.
Huh? Are you sure we're talking about the same guy here?
He may have loomed large, but he was unexpectedly easy to push around.
Even though he's the one who was responsible for pushing those execution papers through.
Yeah.
Oh, that? Approving executions was simply his preferred method of stress relief.
Chat goes, burgers! With a wife like her, he was probably really pushing them through out of fear.
I'm beginning to see why he wanted to stage a coup. In any case, my time in captivity wasn't so bad, but of all the things that happened, I know I didn't channel him. Hold it!
Are you sure about that? Maybe you just don't remember channeling him.
Don't remember? Listen here, John Cena. I may be 28, but I'm not senile, you know.
That was a nice smooth. Yay. Something's not right here.
Do you remember? Does she remember not channeling Phoenix's ex that tried to get him killed?
She willingly willingly channeled.
She willingly
and
channeled
remembers.
Yeah, she willingly channeled her to keep her confined in a location.
Yes.
Miss Faye, you were confined to Amara's tomb the whole time, is that correct?
Yes, but I wasn't conscious the whole time.
Okay, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. That inflection was awful the first time. Did you ever see Nana in the tomb dressed as Dirk?
Huh? Is this some kind of joke? I think I'd remember if I saw something as crazy as that. Plus, I doubt anyone would carry out a crime like that right in front of a potential witness.
I hate when he's right.
Phoenix is just like...
Stop being right?
I can't help it, it's in the name. I didn't even have a chance to do something like that. Hold it!
You didn't have a chance to channel him? Does channeling someone take a long time?
Not really. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty much instantaneous. But I was all tied up, literally. So there was no way for me to make the channeling mudra with my hands to do it.
Right. I guess you really didn't channel Inga then.
Maya, when mediums are done with the session, they can send the spirit back to the other world themselves, right? Sure, unless they're still in training, amateurs can get possessed by spirits sometimes. But full-fledged mediums can stay in total control of a session. And they can send the deceased spirit away anytime they want.
So I take it you can do that too, Miss Faye?
Of course! It's a cinch for the new and improved Mystic Maya Fey, a spirit medium.
Ace detective.
That's strange. You seem like the same old childish Maya to me.
Ha
I'll show you, childish Nick! 1v1 me and smash, you scrub!
Nothing but luck!
Besides, I'd never go quietly along with some criminal's plan. Hold it!
So you wouldn't channel spirits for unseemly purposes?
Of course not. Spirit channeling is my bread and butter. And I take a lot of pride in my work. It's like, would you use your legal skills to commit a crime, Apollo? Some have, but not him.
Yeah. Well, until finger pointing and objecting become deadly, I don't see how they can be used.
Do I need to bring up Godot?
Yeah.
Wow, you're a regular Mr. Smarty Pants, just like Nick. Always at the ready with some sarcastic comeback.
Okay, that yes, but when it comes to Smarty Pants, Nick has actually done crimes
Yes.
with his lawyering.
Phoenix, really? He's not done crimes.
Gambling?
That wasn't him. Remember, he was using his daughter's abilities for that.
Right. But he was using his abilities to bluff.
Yeah, but that's just bluffing. That's not really a lawyer skill.
That's true.
That's just a him skill. I think I'll save my many objections for after the trial.
Yes, please.
Anyway, I'd never go along with something like murder.
What, you didn't say you wouldn't channel him?
Clearly, all of the people in this room clearly underestimate Phoenix's insanity when he's faced with a brick wall, when he's faced with a dead end. This dude is willing to cross-examine animals to get what he needs to. No sane lawyer would do that. Except that one time.
It sounds to me like you're trying to hide something, Mrs. Faye.
Didn't anyone teach you about respecting boundaries, Apollo? It's really rude to pry into a person's private affairs.
Sorry, I didn't realize. Wait, we're in a court of law.
Yeah, I know.
Then what was that? What was all that about me being rude? I'm just doing my job. So please, just tell me, what exactly are you hiding?
Sorry, but I promised Dirk I wouldn't say.
You made a promise to Dirk?
Mm-hmm. A pretty big one. I think this is about all we're going to get out of her.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Enough. The witness is denying that she channeled any spirits. Further questioning is pointless.
The daughter was possessed. I mean, I'm thinking that, but she's the one who saw. She's the witness who saw her father.
Yeah. Unless there's like a mysterious second child that we're referring to.
It appears your little
Fucker, I didn't even think about that.
Oh
no!
I feel like again that's kind of jumping to conclusions.
It is, but I didn't think about that. He could possibly, but he doesn't have any skills with doing so.
No.
Did I talk over you?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
It appears your little fiction has been suddenly exposed for what it is.
You should listen to her, Apollo. I don't even know why you suspected me in the first place. I mean, you don't have any evidence of me channeling Minister Inga, do you?
Oh, evidence, huh?
There's no point in even thinking about it, really. I don't use anything special to channel spirits, so there wouldn't be anything left behind. That's true. Just like when she channeled the High Priest, all Maya needs is her own body. If the defense has no evidence to offer, I will have to end this cross-examination.
What now? Even if she doesn't use any special items to do the channeling itself, you'd think there would be something to complete the deception.
Is there any proof that Justice Minister Ingo was channeled? You bet there is.
I know there is. I don't have to question it. I know what it is.
You
bet there is!
Really? Well, no. You're bluffing, I take it. Shut up!
Be fine!
Shut up!
One has the skills but no means to access them doesn't mean the skills can't be used.
I guess.
If we're right, then there must be some sort of proof to back us up. Time to do some serious thinking, Apollo Justice. Okay, we know that when Rafa saw her father, he wasn't dressed like Miss Faye, right?
Right, because if he was, Rafa would have immediately known he was being channeled.
So that means he was dressed in his usual suit when Rafa saw him.
Aha! Good thinking, Apollo. This might be the perfect angle to attack from.
I already have the proof for that.
Alright, let's have an answer from the defense. What proof do you have that Miss Maya Fey channeled Justice Minister Inga?
That.
Take that! Is that a gemstone?
His buttons aren't missing from his jacket. That means a second jacket was used at the time of the crime. We found this among the ashes of one of the tomb's incense burners. Does this gemstone ring any bells, Your Eminence?
What? What is that doing in the tomb? What was that doing in the tomb?
Ah, so you do recognize it. But then as his wife, how could you not recognize this gemstone button from your husband's jacket?
I don't get where you're going with this.
Channeling Mr. Inga alone wouldn't be enough to fool someone like Princess Rafa. Especially if he were wearing your clothes. So you would have had to change into the minister's clothes before channeling him.
Oh.
Miss Faye, you used the minister's clothes as a cover while going from his room to the tomb, where you burned them once you no longer needed them.
What? Uh-oh. She seems genuinely surprised by that, Apollo.
Objection!
Miss Faye,
Yeah?
do you know my husband's name?
It was, Inga Karkul Karine, right?
She has the name, she has the face.
That is correct in part, but there's more, much more.
She's gonna say a ridiculously long name, alright?
Inga
I didn't skip it.
I know.
Hold on.
History.
Yeah, I'm pressing history. Let's see. Inga Karkul
Halkod Disnam Biani Laga Ormo Pompous Danit Art. It is Karine the Third.
How could this name be any longer than it... How can this law get any more pompous than it already is?
Yeah. 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 To ride the third.
That is his true name.
Could it be any longer? Yes, she said that already, Apollo.
Yeah.
Due to its length, only a portion of it was ever made public. So, Miss Faye, did you know his true name? That's my
No. I mean, how could I?
Precisely. Yet a medium must know both the face and true name of the one she seeks to
But a
find.
shortened version of his name is still his true name, right? It's not like he was hiding his true name.
Yeah. So then, Miss Faye couldn't have channeled Minister Inga?
It's not like this is like on par with saying like Homer J. Simpson is not his real name. Homer J.A.Y. Simpson is his real name.
Yeah.
That's
also like me. Like, I skip my middle name all the time.
Yeah.
And I go by the shortened version of my first name. So, like, yeah, you guys know me by that name, but I have another name. But
Yeah.
that the one I prefer is the shortened one.
Yeah. What was
How
that?
could is a play on how could this name be any longer or more pompous than it already is? His full English name is the longest name of any Ace Attorney character to date,
Correct.
having 76 letters, 88 with spaces.
I feel like this whole thing here, they're pushing it.
Yeah.
Like, this is pushing it. It's like, my full name is Aiden Patrick Kearns. But if I decide to go by Aiden P. Kearns, that's not my real name?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, fuck off. That's what I've been saying this whole time.
You have to keep in mind, in terms of fantasy, names in a lot of fantasy are power.
Especially true names.
But even I think that this is stretching it a
No,
little
no.
bit.
It isn't. This has precedent in a lot of fantasy. It has to be your true name.
and mythology with in terms of like fairies and stuff.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I think it's pushing it, but I can see where...
Think of it this way. In mythology, if somebody knows your true name, they could literally mess with your physical appearance and everything about you.
I guess.
That's why you never tell somebody your true name.
Why would I want to randomly channel some old guy I didn't know? I mean, it's not like he was looking for pictures of Spider Sonic or something. And didn't, like, thanks to that last trial.
I can't believe this.
Apollo, I really don't think Maya's lying. However, your line of reasoning still seems credible to me.
I agree, but there's something tripping us up in the details. Maybe we're working off of some wrong assumption again.
Well, it's not... Okay, so clearly it's not Maya who channeled him. But there's still one person who hasn't been seen around that could have potentially done it. Someone that would know his full name.
Wait. What?
We still haven't found Nana.
Oh, right, yeah. Since
And Nana is his head servant.
yeah, then I've already guessed that it's wife. So if that's the case, then she could have channeled him.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Apollo, I was thinking...
Yes.
I'm sorry, you think? I thought it was just burgers up there.
As if the same thing.
Hey, my mind isn't all burgers. It's 95% burgers. Since I didn't channel Minister Inga, is it possible that someone else did?
Someone else? But who else could it have been?
I haven't thought that far yet.
Such chatter is without merit. Let us move on, shall we?
I don't care what Garin says, I'm gonna figure this out. If it wasn't Miss Faye and the Queen has an alibi, then...
Apollo, forget about who is capable of channeling spirits for a second.
I should consider the circumstances around the channeling, right?
Right. We know Rafa saw father come running out of his private quarters. If he was being channeled at the time, who could it have been?
It had to have been someone who was in Inga's private quarters.
And we established before that Nana was the one that stabbed him in the quarters.
The only person, yeah.
Well, I'm waiting, Defense, and you know how much I despise waiting.
Yes, but there is someone else besides Miss Faye who could have channeled Minister Inga. There's just one more person, and they were in Inga's private quarters. That person is our only hope now.
So the defense believes there was another. Let's have your very serious answer then.
With pleasure.
Horn devil. Who could have channeled Minister Inga?
They gave me two shots at this? Huh.
Yes, but each shot, if you missed, you lose 3 points. So if
Yeah.
you had lost up to 2 points, fix that.
Nana.
Your Eminence said it yourself.
That's right. Nana never did go into the tomb that day. Instead, she entered my husband's private quarters.
How do you know?
It's quite simple. Shoe prints were discovered at Inga's private quarters. Shoe prints that belonged to Nana.
And then here's her benevolence's statement. Yeah, something we never established on any of this yet. We see her shoe prints going in.
Yeah.
We don't see her shoe
So
prints
it's
going out.
Yeah, we see his shoe prints going out.
Yeah. She said that Nana disappeared right after she entered Minister Inga's private quarters. The room from which Minister Inga himself came running out of not long afterwards.
You are not seriously suggesting.
It's the only thing that makes sense. Nana channeled Minister Inga and left his private quarters thereafter. That's why no one has seen her since. And why only the minister's shoe prints were found outside his residence.
No, what? That's gotta be it. Nana must have somehow channeled the minister.
Not somehow, we know who she is. All the circumstantial evidence has fallen into place. You can't ignore it anymore. You can't claim that Nana isn't connected to this case somehow. In light of this, the defense calls Nana to the stand.
Well, Your Eminence.
Very well then. Let us call Nana to testify.
Yes! Now we can finally crack this case wide open.
Let us adjourn while the witness is summoned.
There is no need. Nana is in the waiting lobby.
What? Nana's here? I thought she'd gone missing.
It seems she was feeling unwell and simply wished to rest undisturbed. But her concern for Rafa brought her here today.
She took time off without Rafa's knowledge or consent?
I'm betting there's more to her disappearing act than meets the eye, Apollo. Hi, Nana. Nice to see you again.
My goodness, that hair.
Miss Nana, do you understand why you have been summoned here today? You want to be Nana?
I can't do old lady voices.
Yes, of course.
I was gonna do it.
You want to do it?
Yeah, because you've got too many voices enough as this.
Yes, of course.
No, I can't do it.
Her Eminence,
That just sounded like frigging, pain.
Her Eminence has informed me that this man here suspects I have committed a crime.
So this is Nana. That's quite the hairdo.
You know it, brother. Only the best. Though I have to say, I suppose I'm not as old as I had thought. If this horn-headed nincompoop would take me for a criminal...
Nincompoop?
Isn't that Rafa's favorite insult? I guess Nana rubbed off on her with all that time they spent together. You there, young horned head.
Yes?
You're accusing me of slaying Minister Inga and channeling his spirit, yes? What an active imagination you have. Young folk are so wonderfully open-minded.
Thanks. Just take the compliment, Justice.
Don't argue with an old person, you'll always lose. Now then, will the witness please proceed with her testimony? This court wishes to know what if you did or did not channel Minister Inga in his private quarters.
Now I'm just thinking of her as Kome or Kotake.
Oh yeah, oh yes. You know, I can kind of see it. I was feeling under the weather yesterday and decided to rest these weary bones. Besides which, a lowly servant such as I could not possibly be an honorable spirit medium. Only members of the royal family can learn the art of spirit channeling here in Karine.
Then why do you have a Magatama?
Like most people, like it's just a symbol. It's first of all, that's not a Magatama, that's a Mitama, and that's the symbol of Karine.
Then why is it a closed circle?
You're not seeing the full thing.
No, I see that, but it's a closed circle because most of everybody else has an unclosed circle.
Maybe it doesn't really matter. She is a staff at the royal family.
No, I get that.
So,
I get that.
so maybe
I know it's a wavy line down there, but
Yeah.
I've never seen one of theirs.
Yeah.
Like, look at all of the
Yeah.
iconography. It's not a closed.
I guess in this case, maybe it's just because she's a staff at the
Yeah.
royal family. Maybe she has some of the royal stuff, like because she's the head maybe, right?
Yeah.
After Queen Amara's passing, Her Eminence Queen Garin is the only spirit medium left. If you believe a medium to be the culprit, it would have to be that young lass Maya Fey.
No. There's one more
I
left.
don't know why I'm so good at doing this. Why am I always the good one with the old lady voice?
I could do the old lady voice, the only problem is, when I try, it just sounds like pain today.
Come in your mouth, most gloriousness. No wait, that's pain. You're thinking panic. Panic is the tall, thin one that has like the hyperactive voice.
Winston Pain.
Winston.
Oh, that objection one. I see what you mean.
And there you have it. It seems we have summoned her for nothing. Only those of the royal bloodline have the power of spirit channeling.
And then...
Okay.
And then Apollo figured it out.
That a servant such as Nena could channel spirits is a most unamusing jest.
Itoma, Utama, that Tama, they Tama.
We Tama.
On the surface, anyway. But our line of reasoning has led us to this end. That Nena channeled Inga's spirit.
All right, the defense may now question the witness. Well, there's one statement here that has a very blatant contradiction.
I was resting all day.
No, it's not that one.
Okay.
She claimed that Queen Amara was dead.
Oh, yeah. That's fair.
After Queen Amara's passing, but we've established at this point that she's still alive.
Queen Amara was a victim of an assassination, right?
Yes. Oh, she was a beautiful, gentle soul. But she fell in love with a man of dubious origins. And was murdered in a terrible blaze. Fate can be so cruel.
Except she's actually still alive.
Poor Nina's yet another follower unwillingly praying for over an empty sarcophagus.
You think she was brainwashed into thinking she's not actually the queen?
Oh no.
Amara, the queen who's been locked away, and her existence in this world erased. But the fact that she's still alive shackles Nayuta and to Garon's will. Nayuta, the only reason you're still standing there by that woman's side is because you're afraid of what would happen to Amara otherwise, right?
We need not recount such ancient history. Let us continue with the witness's testimony.
No.
Okay, so that statement after Queen Amara's passing, that's the one you need to look at.
Yeah.
So now, what do you have on you that shows Queen Amara alive?
Dad.
No.
Okay. That?
Yes.
That. Live! Okay, so I presented what makes sense in terms of a direct contradiction, except I don't know how to make it make sense in the larger context of this case.
Well, if the defense going to follow up its loud objection with a sound explanation?
Oh, sorry. How do I put this? I believe there's a problem with Naina's testimony.
Go on.
She asserted that she could not possibly be a spirit medium because in Karine only members of the royal family can learn how to channel spirits.
I fail to see the problem with that statement, defense.
Hold on, I'm getting to it, Your Majesty. Naina stated an absolute falsehood. Since we know that Amara is still alive. At the same time, circumstantial evidence points to Naina channeling Inga.
Say, Naina, that's a very specific diamond shape on your forehead.
I already pointed.
It's almost as if you're sharing it with somebody.
After all, just after she entered his private quarters, Inga came running out screaming despite having been killed at 2 p.m.
She did it! She found Spider Sonic!
That would mean that Naina channeled Inga. Even though, supposedly, only those of the royal family are capable of doing so.
Gee, Apollo put 2 and 2 together.
Wait. Is it too late to ask for a refund on my trip down the rabbit hole? Mr. Wright, you may think I've lost my mind with this bluff, but...
What?
But if I can at least establish the possibility, I think it'll give us the break we need.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Are you going to propose what I think you are?
Yes. It's a huge risk, but I think there's a chance I can prove it.
I book me.
Will the court please take a look at this photo? Look at this photograph.
No book me. Oh.
That's...
This photo's very existence, to say nothing of the person in it, contradicts the witness's claims that Queen Garn is the only remaining spirit medium in Karine.
Poor devil, you mustn't.
Oh, but I must. Under these circumstances, the outcome of this trial depends on it. But you already knew that, didn't you, Your Eminence?
Grr. Will the defense please explain who is shown in this photograph?
The person in this photo is the previous Queen Amara Sigatar Karine. Contrary to popular belief, she was never assassinated. In fact, she's very much alive.
What? But that's nonsense!
Take a good look at the law book in this photo, Your Majesty. The mark of the dragon branded on it could only have been placed there after Queen Amara's supposed assassination.
Queen Amara's still alive? Has the Lord gone mad? While I personally find it hard to believe, I will allow the defense to continue. You may proceed, defense.
Doofenshmirtz, go home and make your innators. But I'm right here.
But I'm right here.
Yeah, one of the innators. Ross says he didn't do shit, and this is slander. Okay. Queen Amara's death was staged to keep her safe from her would-be killer. Yet according to Dirk, she's actually being held captive somewhere. But the real truth is that Queen Amara is not being held in confinement. Rather, she walks freely among us.
Among us!
Here, in this very courtroom today.
But how? Shut up! Shut it up! Do not be deceived, Your Majesty. The red pepper is skilled in weaving plausible lies. It is the cunning lawyerly art known as bluffing. But knowing this, there is no need to fear his forked tongue.
Objection!
That's where you're wrong, prosecutor, because you'll be quaking in your boots soon enough.
Is that so?
It's my turn, Nayuta, to wake you up to the truth right before your eyes. Queen Amara is still very much alive and has been disguising herself as...
Take that!
I guess that's a long time ago.
With bats?
This is the simplest and cleanest explanation for everything we've covered so far. The person who killed Minister Inga, someone with intimate knowledge of the divination seance, the medium who channeled the minister in order to mask the real time frame of his death, condense these traits into one person and you get a spirit medium of royal blood. And that person is none other than you, Nana. Your true identity is the former Queen Amara and the killer we've been looking for all along.
What?
Objection!
Polkunga.
Have you finally lost your mind, Mr. Justice? What you say is beyond blasphemous, even in the depths of hell. Oh my, such frightening allegations. Indeed, and absolutely ludicrous to boot. Her Eminence Queen Amara yet lives, and is actually Miss Nana here? You have truly gone off the deep end.
You don't have to take my word for it. In fact, a certain someone can help me prove it. Your Eminence! If Queen Amara truly is dead, you should be able to channel her spirit right here, right now. Isn't that correct?
I can deny it no longer. The lawyer speaks the truth. Nana, the woman who stands here before us, is Amara, the former queen believed to have perished 23 years ago.
Pulled pork! You got here at the big plot twist.
The one that I guessed like frigging a month ago.
What? That's the lady?
Yeah.
The attendant was the former queen.
Finally. We finally got Inga's real... We finally got Inga's real killer on the stand. Nana, no! Amara Sigatar Karine. Please drop the act and tell us what really happened.
How dearie me. I guess I shouldn't have underestimated the power of youth.
Can you, do her proper form, at least?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Because she is literally the
Yeah,
sister of the queen.
Yeah.
Well done, young hornhead. I mean, you basically just do the queen's voice, but just less menacing.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman.
Magical girl sequence stuff.
Ma'am?
Whoa!
I was getting tired of masquerading as an old woman anyway. It has been far too long since I last greeted you, good people of Karine. It is I, Amara Sigatar Karine, your former queen.
Queen of Mars? What? Ultra combo!
Did he actually not know?
No!
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Oh, so you telling him was the first suspicions.
Uh-huh. And I thought Garen's makeover was extreme.
Can it really be true? You are alive and well?
It is true. I feel as if I have been called back from the Twilight Realm. I fear I have caused all of you a great deal of distress. Amara, I'm sorry I was unable to keep your secret any longer. I hope you can forgive me. It is quite alright, Garen. I am safe now. For Dirk, that Blackheart who threatened my life will be recaptured soon enough.
Why does she still believe that?
I think this is getting...
I need not conceal my identity any longer.
Queen Amara, what does this all mean? Were you not killed in that fire 23 years ago?
I barely escaped that blaze with my life. But though I survived, I knew that scandal would make further attempts on my life.
Maybe she's being misled into thinking that Dirk was the one that caused the fire.
Yeah.
Therefore, I staged my death and abdicated the throne to my dear younger sister, Garen.
But the building of that great tomb, and disguising yourself as a lowly servant, why would you do such a thing?
Garen, I would have you explain. I wished for her to be close at hand. It was the only way I felt I could protect her. And it was the best way to hide her from the eyes of the public. After all, who could conceive of Amara lowering her station to that of a servant?
She's got that right. Even Dirk thought Amara was being held captive in some far-off place.
He never even guessed she was living as a servant, right in plain sight. Even though I did. I ruined the spectacle!
I must say, a life dedicated to the servitude of others is not the least bit disagreeable. It is a quiet, humble existence, far removed from the tedium of regal duties. Ah, but those days of peace have ended. And it's all because of you, Hornhead.
You should consider yourself lucky if that's all this ends with.
If there is something you wish to say, then say it.
It doesn't matter who you are, you won't escape the crime you committed. The defense moves to indict you as Justice Minister Inga's real killer.
I gotta
What?
go.
Alright, see you later. You would accuse Queen Amara of homicide? And a Grand Priestess of Curanism? You can't do that. She's virtually a goddess in the eyes of her people.
Well, then you'll waive that sacrilegious act then, won't you? Won't be an issue.
English, do you speak it, Mr. Justice?
You know, when you
Meat, orange, you give orange, meat, orange, you orange, me, you orange.
If you commit the crime, you'd better be ready to do the time. Be you a priest, saint, queen, or god.
I've never met such an egalitarian man.
Egalitarian, meaning like everybody's equal in his eyes, no matter how high his status. Yeah. Queen Amara, in your years disguised as Nena, you would have learned about Minister Inga's disorder. So you knew you could dress in Dirk's clothes to forge a convincing seance vision. Isn't that right?
What a curious character you are. You would label me a murderer? Me, the one who people regarded as the reincarnation of the Holy Mother herself?
You may be a grand figure in Curanism, but as a foreigner, you're just another suspect to me.
It would appear your words are not unjust. Am I to suffer the sullying of my good name with accusations of murder most foul?
Please, Queen Amara, forgive his impudence. The lawyer knows not what he speaks.
Fear not, good magistrate, for this is the Sacred Hall of Justice. Though I am a Grand Priestess, on this stand I am but a witness like any other. I shall face his accusations with grace and benevolence.
Your compassion overfloweth your mercifulness.
Oh, young lawyer, In my benevolence, I must warn you that your assertion suffers from a tragic flaw.
Huh? There's a flaw?
Nayuta,
Yes, your mercifulness.
who was present in the tomb when the murder was discovered?
Dirk Sadmati, Maya Fey, and the victim, Minister Inga. I see. That is a fatal flaw indeed. It appears Queen Amara couldn't possibly have gone to the tomb as Minister Inga.
What? Why not?
Do not keep the defense waiting, Nayuta. Explain how wrong he truly is.
No, because we've already established where she could be hiding, and that's the reason why she was resting, because she got chilled to the bone.
Yes, your mercifulness. Her benevolence, Princess Rafa saw Minister Inga enter the tomb around 2:30 p.m. Yet you, the defense, claim the person she saw was the minister being channeled by Queen Amara. However, if her mercifulness had channeled him and moved to the tomb, then once she was done channeling, Queen Amara would have reemerged and been left stuck in the tomb.
Oh, yeah.
Had she tried to exit before you all arrived, Rafa would have noticed her. Princess Rafa, who had been looking down upon the courtyard, would have seen her. However, her benevolence saw nothing of the sort. In conclusion, Queen Amara could not have left the tomb without being observed. And yet, was she there in the tomb when the murder was discovered, defense?
No, she wasn't. Wait.
Now do you see? Your flimsy claim has been uprooted like a sapling in a flood. Well, that was entertaining. Prosecutor Sadmati, assume the prosecution of this case and clear your mother's good name.
You wish for me to take over?
Yes, prosecute your father to save your mother.
Really?
What a poignant fate you bear, but bear it you must.
You piece of shit.
Are you ready?
Yes, your Highness.
And there you have it, your majesty. I shall watch the rest of the proceedings from the sidelines. I relinquish complete control of this sacred hall to your authority once more.
Why, thank you, your eminence. Now then, your mercifulness, your testimony, if you please.
What? What?
This is clearly a power play by Kara altogether.
He literally rewrote several laws while she was at the stand. Yes, it's a power play.
All right.
Oh, right. Hold on. Can I go back?
Press Y.
Okay.
Now I shall destroy your utterly absurd and barbarous theory. I was not anywhere near the tomb following the murder.
Okay.
I kind of derped. I thought we've already read it, but I realized, hey, it's not
Keep
good
going,
text.
keep going.
Yeah.
Were your theory correct, I would have been in the tomb once I had stopped channeling. My husband Dirk is the killer, but he has fled from this sacred hall. May the Holy Mother rain judgment upon the traitor Dirk Sadmati for his crimes.
The three middle statements are suspicious.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, such marvelous testimony. You are truly a treasure, your mercifulness. I love that all three of them have different titles. Your mercifulness, Rafa is your benevolence, and the queen is your eminence.
This too is but by the grace of her holiness. No doubt my unmasking here today was her will as well.
Oh my, the Holy Mother, you say?
Yes, surely her holiness has guided me to this witness stand. Even a tiger! And to the purity of truth.
You stand on a bed of lies.
You are literally a false Disney princess.
Yeah.
Oh, how magnificent. Queen Amara, the Holy Mother's messenger here on Earth. Praise be for Queen Amara, blessings for her mercifulness.
I thought they established they didn't have big cats like that.
Not lion. I think they were mentioning lions.
Yeah, but tigers are just as big and would have made that kind of noise.
Lions are not tigers.
The
They don't-
roar
they
sounds
don't
the same.
No,
though.
they don't.
Whatever, continue.
Sound close enough. Anyway, where did those animals even come from?
Now then, the defense may question the witness. But remember, she is a grand priestess, so disrespect will not be tolerated. That means no pointing out conflicts, inconsistencies, or any other flaws in her testimony. Bruh. That's my job.
Alright, well then I guess I'll press then, because that's all I can do.
So like I said, the three middle statements are suspect. So 2, 3, and 4.
Hold it!
Well, maybe. You were hiding inside the sarcophagus. After all, it does technically belong to you. I bet you'd have no trouble opening it.
If I had been in there, I could not be here today. But the tomb has been under constant surveillance since the murder. I would have never been able to leave.
I guess not. If I might ask, what's in that sarcophagus anyway? You're still alive, so...
There is despair, sadness, hatred, and malice. Only one brave enough to see the truth hidden deep within could discover the final hope, my continued corporeality.
You completely lost me.
In other words, it's empty. But no one dared to open it because they were too scared of the curse.
Now, will you dispense with your theory? It is as empty as my sarcophagus.
Hold it!
I'll admit you weren't in the tomb after the murder.
Very good. But that very truth refutes your theory. Even if I had channeled Minister Inga
Mr. Inga Dinga Doo.
and entered the tomb,
Get the name of that.
the moment I
Sorry,
ceased,
go ahead.
the moment I ceased channeling him, I would have reemerged at the crime scene.
Inka, do not.
Precisely. As you said yourself, Defense, Queen Amara was not there after the moiter. The only living souls in the tomb at that time were Dirksad Maddie and Maya Fey.
Be it in this life or the next. There is no escaping such simple truths.
My husband Dirk is the killer. He has fled from the city.
How did they know that? There must be a reason why he had to make his escape today.
A reason? Ah, perhaps...
Perhaps what?
Perhaps to conceal himself and lie in wait for another chance to claim my life.
What's this? What's this? What's this? I'm
Sorry,
sick of all your shit.
Sorry,
Objection!
No. It's definitely not like that, your mercifulness. You're flashing light into my face. Thank you. First of all, you don't really believe he's trying to kill you, do you? After all, you two ran off together after he rescued you all those years ago.
That was only because he had the audacity to claim it wasn't me, you must believe me. It was my duty as a wife to her husband to bend an ear to him, was it not? Communication after disagreement is the secret to a long and happy marriage.
Sure, I guess. What do you think, Mr. Wright?
Don't ask me.
That is why I listen to Dirk.
Sorry, the last time I was in a relationship, she tried to poison me.
However, he didn't have a shred of evidence to support his claim. It grieves me to admit it, but my husband truly did try to murder me.
That's quite enough. It's abundantly clear that Queen Amara's testimony is flawless.
Oh, do you understand now, lawyer?
This is bad. The judge isn't going to let me cross-examine her much longer.
Mara shouldn't have been in the tomb after the minister's murder, but she wasn't. Should have. I don't get it.
How did she just vanish from the scene of the crime like that? It shouldn't be possible for normal people to... For normal people. Oh! Maybe!
Maybe what?
Your Majesty! I think I can explain why Queen Amara wasn't in there, in the tomb after the murder.
Very well, Defense. Do explain.
I believe it was accomplished through a method only she is capable of. And by using this special method, it would be possible for her to literally disappear.
Well, don't keep us waiting. Let's hear it. How did Queen Amara disappear from the tomb?
She channeled somebody.
She channeled somebody.
It's the only thing she has.
Yeah, and she debunked hiding in the sarcophagus.
Yeah.
What was that? She
Clung
clung
to the ceiling.
That was
a spider moon!
It'd be like Yor in that one scene where she's like outside the window.
Yeah. All she had to do was channel someone. Then she could easily disappear from the scene of the crime. After all, she would literally be someone else.
Why, I believe that actually makes sense. Close.
I don't want it on the floor.
I'll put it on the chair.
No, it's all dusty.
Oh, Lord, okay, don't kill my headphones in the process.
What do you have to say to that, Queen Amara?
You believe that I, a Grand Priestess, would use the sacred power of spirit channeling to commit murder?
Yes, murder must fail.
Considering Pearl's mother.
Okay. What the?
Wait. Ah! Mercy or mercifulness! I feel like that was appropriate, right?
Yeah.
How dare you spew such vile blasphemy, Defense? You must retract your last statement or face immediate execution.
No, good Majesty, it is quite alright. Koreanism also teaches that we must respond at all times with reason principle. Therefore, I shall offer a measured response to his blasphemous accusation.
You have something to counter with?
Indeed. Now, are you listening? It would not have been possible to simply vanish by means of spirit channeling. After all, it would require a deceased person to channel. However, there was only one murder victim in the tomb. And that was Minister Inga, the only others there right after his murder were Dirk and Miss Faye.
Ah!
Had I channeled Inga as you allege, well, the outcome would have been quite odd to say the least. For there beside the dead minister, a living, breathing one would have appeared. Even if I had been in the tomb, there was no one to channel except the deceased minister. So you see, I could not have vanished by means of spirit channeling.
Yeah, that's true, but I can't rule it out yet. Because, well, what if there was another victim? Someone we haven't identified yet.
How absurd.
If you channeled someone other than Minister Inga, you could have used their identity to disappear from the tomb.
Another victim?
Queen Amara, please add your last statement to your testimony. This could explain everything.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a sign of another victim there in the tomb? And yet, why do I sense I'm not about to like what I'm about to find out?
Yeah. We do have evidence of another incident that happened.
Yeah, the statue.
Something else. Minister Inga was the sole victim. There was no other spirit to channel until he was dead. We do have evidence of another incident that occurred.
Wait, what's the nostalgic note?
Don't we have a blood stain that leads directly to the sarcophagus?
I figured the sarcophagus has a corpse in it.
No.
And actually,
That's
It's
dude's
been
blood,
established
though.
that it's empty.
Yeah, it is. Well, we got.
Dirk's dead?
It's the only logical answer.
Oh, snap!
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the only answer that would make sense.
that's also really sadistic on her part.
I mean, that would explain why
Objection!
how she got out.
I can't believe I'm presenting this. But it proves that there was another victim. Still, the only ones there at the scene of the crime were
Dirk and Inga. And Inga was already dead on the floor.
No, it can't be!
So if Amara was there, there's only one other person she could have been channeling at that point. And since the blood is leading to the sarcophagus,
And it's Dirk's blood.
Mm-hmm.
so that it's implying that his body is in the sarcophagus.
Yeah.
Would the defense care to share anything with us?
Queen Amara. You knew, didn't you?
Whatever are you talking about?
If you won't tell this court, then I will.
Well, don't keep us waiting.
This case includes a second victim. One of the two people found alive in the tomb after the minister's murder was actually already dead.
But a second victim, Apollo?
Queen Amara, after you channeled Minister Inga and moved to the tomb, you vanished from the scene of the crime by channeling the other victim. That explains tonight why no one found you after the murder was discovered.
Oh, you putrid pepper. Of all the half-witted buffoonery to come tumbling from your lips. But suppose I indulge you and play along with your little delusion. Tell me, Mr. Justice, who was the other victim?
Wait, are we doing speed? No. There's no way this can't be true. But... No, I can't stop now. If this is the truth, it's the only way forward to solving this case.
So that means he's been talking to her the whole time.
Well, no. He had been talking to him, but he knew he was being channeled.
So that's why he said he would die.
No, he said he did not have long in this world.
Listen, son. Even if you manage to prove me innocent tomorrow,
And he also said that
Shut-
it's going to be a truth that he's not going to be.
I don't have long to live. There is no escaping death now that it has its sights set on me.
Dirk knew everything. But he couldn't bring himself to tell me.
I have one more big secret. I'm afraid I can't tell you what it is. I'd be betraying a certain someone if I did. And Maya did say that she promised Dirk to keep something secret.
Yeah. He couldn't accuse the love of his life. The sad truth is, the other victim channeled by Amara was...
Take that!
What? You can't! That's not possible!
Yeah, I love Phoenix's reaction.
The defendant Dirk Sadmati is the one Queen Amara channeled. He's the other victim.
This is insanity! Full Kunka! Apollo, what are you... Do you realize what you're proposing?
Objection!
I demand an explanation, Mr. Justice.
I don't know when or why Dirk was murdered, but the facts and evidence speak for themselves. And this is where they've led me.
I see. After Inga's murder, Dirk and Maya were the only ones in the tomb. But if one of them was actually dead and being channeled by Amara... But it can't be, can it?
Dirk's bloodstain at the scene of the crime was the clincher for me. He wasn't even injured, so how could he have possibly bled that much? The only logical explanation is Dirk had also been murdered.
Objection.
That's enough! Your explanation cannot be the truth. And you would not dare to claim to have proof to support your assertion.
Nayuta, I wish it weren't true. I wish with all my heart that I'm wrong. But as much as I don't want to believe it, yes, I can prove it. Dirk's killer must have hidden his body. It would have had to be somewhere no one would ever look.
Gee, I wonder.
And there's only one such place.
You truly have proof?
The fastest way would be to actually have someone go check the tomb.
Go check the tomb? But why?
Because I believe Dirk's killer hid his body here.
Gee, it's only one logical place where they could hide the body. You know, the place they'd never think to look.
So this
You would suggest...
Queen Amara's sarcophagus. The only place in the tomb that no one would dare to look. Plus, a killer would soon become trapped by hiding in there. But a body, well, that's a horse of a different color. Which means... Ah!
I believe we must search the sarcophagus at once. Your Eminence, being that Queen Amara yet lives, I trust we may now open it.
If we must.
Your Majesty, I believe Detective Sky is still there at the tomb. Let us contact her at once and have her conduct a full investigation into the matter.
This is like Godot all over again. Only 10
Pretty
times.
much.
This is so much worse because there are two of them manipulating shit.
And Godot was an actual dead man walking.
Now then, Detective Sky, your report, if you please.
I'll start with my findings.
Oh no.
Please, please. Please let me be wrong about this. I just want things to be as they were.
Too late.
Can't really blame him for that.
Yeah.
A search of the sarcophagus revealed a body that appears to be several days old.
We've never seen him sweat like that. Body? Detective Sky? Tell me it wasn't Dirk. Tell me my whole theory was completely off base.
It's Dirk.
I have a photo of the body, and I have positively identified it as
Well, shit.
Dirk Sadmati.
But that's interesting. He's been dead for several days?
She's been channeling him for
No.
days.
Yes. No!
Nayuta's definitely gonna be more broken.
Why? Why did this have to happen? Damn it, Dirk! Answer me!
On the plus side, they can bring Maya in to channel him, but
How can this be? I think that's the queen.
Yes, the queen.
The traitorous snake, the very head of the insurgency, murdered. Oh, what a joyous day. Those fools shouting for change and revolution will finally return to whatever rocks they crawl out from under.
sorry. She severely underestimates what something like that can cost. Especially if people have
Martyrs do a lot.
martyrs do more damage dead than alive.
Oh, that's why that's what makes them martyrs.
Exactly.
What was I even fighting for?
Dead man.
Come on, it's a Capcom.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
A dead man who loved you and wanted you to
Apollo.
finish the job.
What am I supposed to do now?
Oh my gosh.
Son,
A dragon never yields.
a lawyer. Should never look the way you do right now. A dragon never yields. Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go till its dying breath. It glares, it roars, and it latches its jaws firmly onto its prey till the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get to the truth.
I think that's a double euphemism for discovering the killer.
Well, yeah, that's the point.
No, but
But, Dirk, what if the truth is that you're...
Apollo, in court tomorrow, you may find yourself faced with a truth that is difficult to accept. But I know you, and I know you can handle the truth, no matter what it turns out to be. I know that because I believe in you. You're my son, after all.
Third child. You believed in me that much, Dirk?
when they channel someone, do they remember what happens?
Not post-death. It's basically as if there's a gap in time, or not even a gap in time to them. It's like they died, then they're aware of being alive again.
I don't mean that. I mean the people who channel them.
Oh, if it's a good spirit channel, medium, yes, and they can shut it off at any time.
So Amara would know he was telling the truth. Know what's going
Oh
on.
no, not his inner thoughts. No, I don't think so. Dirk, I think I finally understand. I can't yield, not now, not ever. Not after Dirk believed in me despite knowing what was about to happen. Besides, Dirk left me with two things I must do.
Are you all right, Apollo?
Sorry about that, Mr. Wright. But I'm fine now!
Apollo?
Detective Scott,
Yes?
how sure are you that the body's been there for a few days?
I'm positive. No autopsy's been performed yet, but I'd say it's been at least 3 days. Fortunately, the low temperature inside the sarcophagus kept it from decaying. Oh, and the chest area bore 3 gunshot wounds from a small caliber weapon. I believe they are the cause of death.
Someone made it personal.
Wait a minute. There was one pistol at the scene a few days later that had 1 bullet missing.
Yep.
He was killed by Inga.
Yep.
At least 3 days, huh?
That means Dirk was already dead by the time he came to visit me back in the States.
Then who was channeling him?
I think it would have had to be someone who could get into and stay in the U.S. without arousing suspicion. Yet also had a solid cover story so they wouldn't be seen as missing. I believe this is who was channeling Dirk when I saw him in the States.
There's only one person it could have been.
Pearls.
No.
No.
Maya?
Maya.
Why?
Take that!
Maya? Oh, I see. She was being held hostage at the time. So it seemed only natural that she wasn't around.
Right. And do you remember what she said earlier? So please, just tell me, what exactly are you hiding?
Sorry, but I promised Dirk I wouldn't say.
You made a promise to Dirk?
Mm-hmm. A pretty big one.
When?
How could he ask her to promise that unless she was there when he was dying?
Who said she wasn't?
Dirk didn't want his own death to be known. The other members of the Defiant Dragons would lose all hope if they found out. And that would snuff out the flames of revolution for good. Miss Faye, Dirk told you to keep quiet about this, didn't he?
I guess it's no use hiding it anymore. Yes, I promised not to tell. Dirk made me promise before he died.
So I was right then.
Apollo? There's something I need to tell you. It's about, you know, Dirk's final moments.
When did she swap out with Amara?
They're all there on hand at all times. It's a courtroom. I'm listening, Miss Faye. What happened in his final moments?
It was soon after I was kidnapped. Dirk paid me a visit in that tomb where I was being held captive. I'd say it was a few days before Minister Inga's murder. Hey, young lady. Time to get you up and out of here. Oh. It's that revolutionary guy. I'm here to rescue you. You are? Why? I figured things were a little too quiet with that stamp-sucking scumbag. So I started digging around. That's when I found out you'd been abducted. But why would a rebel help me? Let's go before it's too late. It already is for you, pal. Long time no see, you rebel blowhard. Inga, I knew you were up to something, and I'm going to find out what. I don't remember red on my outfit. That's gotta smart. You've become a real thorn in my side, see? So it's time for you to be pushing up daisies. No. Dirk!
A Derringer?
Yeah. 4-shot pistol.
Yeah, Derringer. Yes.
Did you really think a pea shooter like that could kill a dragon? What the? What are you, some kind of freak? Nuts to this!
So wait, he got killed by his own gun?
No, he got stabbed in the back.
Oh.
Dirk was shot several times, but he barely even flinched. He sacrificed himself for me. These ropes. I've got to help you. Relax. It's going to be okay. Sorry things turned out this way. But it doesn't look like I have much longer. No, don't say that. You're a spirit medium, aren't you?
A speedy merit.
I'm dying. Leave me alone.
I have brain damage.
Okay, moving on.
When I'm gone, I want you to channel my spirit. Stop it! Don't give up like that! If you do, untying a rope like that'll be child's play. No! Please hang in there. You can still make it. Promise me one thing, young lady. It's about my son.
That would be a surreal experience handling your own corpse to put it in the sarcophagus.
Immediately after dying.
Mhm.
Was talking about you, Apollo. He said he wanted to see you one last time. So he asked me to return to the US and channel his spirit. He really said that. I'm you now.
You really said that?
Mm-hmm. He also said he'd been meaning to visit you for years, but kept putting it off. And that this was his last chance.
You just show up here without warning after all this time? What gives?
I came all this way to see you, son. Come, rejoice.
Right. Why don't you tell me the real reason you're here? Dirk. You really did come to the US because you wanted to see me.
I guess this means it was Inga that hid Dirk's body in the sarcophagus after Maya left the tomb. Apollo, you can't stop now. Dirk would want you to keep pressing on.
But that implies that Amara knew that his corpse was in there as well, which implies she was in on a lot of things.
I know, Miss Faye. And I won't disappoint him.
Defense, if you are ready to proceed, I would first have you answer this. Do you believe the accused's death will impact what we know about this case?
Yes, and I believe I can explain everything now.
Very well. Your explanation, please.
Dirk entered the tomb at 3 p.m. the time the hostage exchange was to take place. Or rather, Dirk, as channeled by Miss Faye, did. Now, by the time he entered the tomb at 3 p.m., Minister Inga was already dead. I say that because we know the Minister was murdered at 2 p.m. But there was someone else in there. This person was already hiding in the tomb waiting to channel Dirk in place of Miss Faye.
There's only one other person.
Whoa.
No,
Wait.
it was you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you're jumping. Oh, did you get? Was it Amara that you clicked on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
You
Nana,
were
but-
jumping so quickly, I didn't realize that it was her. I thought
I
you-
clicked Nana, but I mean...
Okay, same basic principle. Okay, so it wasn't. You did click someone that wasn't Amara, but they're basically the same person. So I'm surprised the. Hold on.
could just check. Could check
Yeah.
the court record.
Yes.
She actually has a slot. Oh yeah, she has a slot now, but I clicked this.
But they're basically the same person now. So I'm surprised the game gave it to you. I'm surprised it gave it to you.
What are we at for time?
Once we get to the next part, we'll cut it off. It's not that far off.
The fact of the matter is, Queen Amara killed Minister Inga at 2 p.m. She then went to his private quarters and channeled his spirit. The minister, thinking he was going to be late, hurried to the tomb for the hostage exchange. But once in the tomb, Queen Amara stopped channeling Mr. Inga and hid herself. Then when Dirk entered at 3 p.m., this is literally a hostage exchange with two dead people playing as their roles.
Yeah.
And not knowing.
Then Dirk entered at 3 p.m. She snuck up from behind and forcibly drove Dirk's spirit out of Miss Faye's body.
Drove his spirit out of her body. Impossible.
We already established that there's a stone that does that.
No, Sukasa is Mikasa. Actually, there is a way to do that.
Milady.
With the Magatama of Parting. Using one, anyone could drive a spirit out of a person's body, even if it refused to leave. Are you telling me that the extra pale brown Magatama in the tomb was?
Yep.
There's two of them.
Yeah, one of them was an extra one.
Yeah.
That it was That's right, Prosecutor Satonati, and you've seen one in action before. You saw how the glowing red Nagatama sent the High Priest back to the Twilight Realm. And how it turned a spent pale brown afterwards.
In other words, the brown Magatama found in the tomb looks that way because its power had been used up in pushing Dirk's spirit out of Miss Faye's body, right?
I probably passed out as soon as Dirk's spirit left my body. I was exhausted after channeling him for so long, after all.
After that, Queen Amara must have dressed up Miss Faye in her usual outfit and tied her up. I'm not sure where she got the outfit, but we can assume she had it all planned out. Then, Queen Amara must have changed into Dirk's clothes, smeared blood on them, picked up the knife, and channeled Dirk's spirit. That's how she made it look like Dirk had committed the crime. And that's how she escaped, right under our noses.
And they're gonna try global switcheroo, saying it was Maya.
God.
Can't.
I don't know, Apollo. The whole thing still seems a bit far-fetched.
Then I'll upgrade it to Sir-Fetched.
Ah, a man of culture, I see.
Dirk, what was going through your mind while all this was unfolding?
Isn't I?
I believe that's you.
I believe that's the bad queen?
Yeah.
So ultimately, it was all for naught.
Oh, that was Nayuda.
Oh, it was Nayuda.
Whatever.
Same brain cell.
It's fine. I don't
Nayuda?
Those dreams of revolution Dirk was always spouting. They placed nothing but false hope in the minds of the people. And in the end, they were simply fantasies.
Nayuda, how can you...
Shut up! That's what I hear now when he says that.
Yeah.
Karma has spoken. I didn't know Von Karma was here. The dream of revolution has withered on the vine. Its fate is sealed. The other insurgents will soon wake from their shattered dreams.
No, Dirk's dream can't die like this. I'm not gonna sit back and let that happen. I can't, and I won't. Nayuda, don't forget that Dirk's been proven innocent. His name is no longer tainted by the charge of murder.
Now the rebels and their sympathizers who have been calling for his release can't be charged with abetting the accused. So the revolution is far from over. It's only just begun.
Objection.
No, Dirk has not yet been proven innocent. You have merely indicated the possibility of his innocence.
What do you mean?
Dirk is indeed dead. However, what if it was Dirk who killed Minister Inga while being channeled by Miss Faye? And while the crime could have occurred at 2 p.m., you have yet to substantively prove it. Or do you have conclusive proof that the time of Minister Inga's death was at 2 p.m.?
Well, no, I don't, but...
It seems further testimony will be required of me. As it would appear that I have fallen under suspicion, I would like to state my case. Prosecutor Satonati, the rebellion must be snuffed out once and for all. You must prove Dirk Satonati to be the foul murderer that he was. And every last insurgent and their sympathizers must be found guilty under the Defense Culpability Act.
They must be paddled. As you wish, Your Eminence.
Why is Nayuda doing this? Garden shouldn't have him under her thumb anymore. Amara's not a hostage, so what gives? Nayuda, what's left to chain you to her like this?
Very well then, Queen Amara. Please proceed with your additional testimony. And we are going to call it here, my friends. A lot has happened, but next time we'll finish it. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, We will be back with Final Fantasy VII Remake.